The Leeds full-back is Alan Tate. On the wing is Carl Gibson, a 1998 and 1990 Lion, a try in the first test against the Australians at Wembley in 1990, and 2 tries for Leeds so far this season. Carl Gibson on the wing. In the centre, it's the Kiwi Morvin Edwards. He plays in 3, and it's a New Zealand combination at centre for Leeds. Craig Innes, the former All Black, wears 4. On the wing in 5 is Jim Fallon, the former Bath Rugby Union and England B star. He made an impressive debut against St Helens here on Sky, and he has scored tries in the 2 home wins so far. Jim Fallon in 5 on the wing. Gary Schofield is the captain of Great Britain, and he wears 6. He is the standoff half. He's having to form a partnership with young Gareth Stevens because Andy Gregory remains on the injured list, and it looks a little doubtful now whether Gregory will be in line for that World Cup final against the Aussies. Up front, Steve Malloy plays against his former club. Malloy, a £100,000 signing by Leeds just 2 years ago. The hooker is Colin Maskill, and Maskill has taken over the goal-kicking responsibilities again. He will wear 9. And the veteran forward, Mike O'Neill, 31 years old, one of 6 members of the 1984 British Lions party to Australia that is currently on the playing books here at Headingley. He's the prop forward, and he's in 10. The second row consists of Paul Dixon. Paul Dixon tonight wearing number 11. And in 12 is the man that Leeds signed from Wigan, Andy Goodway. Goodway, with 23 Great Britain caps, he's not missed a match for Leeds since signing from Wigan on the eve of the season. And the Leeds captain is the 13, Ellery Hanley, the loose forward. Hanley, man of steel 3 times during a glittering career at Wigan. And the coach, man with a big job on his hands, is Doug Lawton. Well, fireworks on the big league, and it's wonderful to be here to see them as well. A lovely show. Despite the rain, they've managed to light the blue fuse. And the Warrington lineup as the fireworks crackle overhead. Their fullback is Rob Myler. Myler, who can play wing or forward. He's played both positions already, formerly with Widnes St Mary's Amateurs. 6 tries in 12 games last season. 3 tries for him already this. Rob Myler, the fullback. On the wing is Neil Kenyon. Kenyon tonight will wear 2. He's quite a speedster. In the centre, it's Chris Rudd. 2 goals from Chris Rudd here last season. He's a Cumbria player, and he will probably be picked to play against the Aussies in one of their warm-up matches later this month. At 4 is the Welshman Alan Bateman, who has a 1 Great Britain cap, 15 tries for Warrington since signing from Neath 2 years ago. Alan Bateman, the centre, who wears 4 tonight. Wearing 5 is Rick Thackeray, who's in his 2nd spell here for Warrington. Thackeray in 5. Greg Mackey, the Australian, he wears 6, the 30-year-old who helped Warrington win the Lancashire Cup in 1989 before moving on to Hull. Kevin Ellis is the scrum half in 7. 3 tries in his last 3 appearances so far. He joined from Bridgend in 1990, and he won his only international cap right here at Headingley against France in 1981. Up front, big Neil Harmon wears 8. 99th full appearance for the club here tonight. Dwayne Mann is the hooker. He's the Kiwi with 21 consecutive appearances for his country behind him, wearing 9 for Warrington tonight. And at 10 is Phil Sumner. Sumner, the man who scored that remarkable try for Warrington in the match against Hull just 2 weeks ago. He brushed the players aside in a 50-metre run, and he brought the crowd to its feet. Phil Sumner wearing 10 tonight, the Warrington try-scoring prop forward. In 11, it's Gary Sanderson. Sanderson with over 150 appearances now. He's in 11. And the club captain is Bob Jackson, 31 years young. He's played in 6 major finals for this club. He's the captain in 12. And the lineup completed by Paul Cullen, the loose forward, who just happens also to be the club's commercial manager at Wilderspool. Paul Cullen in 13. And the coach is the Australian Brian Johnson.
Touchline is dominated by the weather conditions. It's very wet indeed. The preparations of the two sides, interesting to see. Warrington out there on the pitch behind me. They decided to stay out there on the pitch rather than stay cold and go back into the dressing room. So Warrington out there preparing. The other news from out here is of the subs for tonight's game. Leeds give a possible debut to James Lowes, the man they've just signed from Hounslow, to impressed in the A-team in midweek, and Paul Anderson, the prop. Warrington sub Mark Forster at 14 and Gary Tees, the Cumbrian prop, at 15.
Last season, he's a Cumbria player and he will probably...
Well, they're making plenty of this match here at Headingley tonight. The fireworks have been crackling overhead, been a tremendous display, and let's hope we get some fireworks to match out there on the field. As Leeds come out for this very important match, they've had meetings all week. It's a handling nightmare for full-backs today.
I saw the Warrington full-back Rob Myler there take the right option, used his foot to slow the ball down. Excellent way to do it in these wet conditions.
Rick Thackeray has drifted in field to get more of the ball. Warrington trailing 6-0, only arrived here at 10 minutes to 7, so their preparation for this match not of the best. But Jackson, good tackling by Innes. He's shown up well already as the former All Black. Ellis just doing a little juggle with the ball. Was it out on the full? It was. He misjudged it.
A little bit of panic coming into the Wyres play. Ellis fumbling that ball. Wasn't settled before he kicked. And he proved it. Out on the full.
Stevens feeds and gets possession. Schofield, it was up round Innes's neck, but he kept hold. 15 minutes gone, 6-0, the advantage for Leeds. Schofield misses out, Tate finds Edwards, Edwards slips. Slipped as he faced up to the challenge of Alan Bateman then. That's better play, Maskill. Schofield now misses out Stevens and finds Andy Goodway, who in turn finds Alan Tate. Goodway again. Still going Goodway on his day, one of the best running forwards in the British game, Goodway. He hasn't missed a match since signing from Wigan. Schofield tries that angle kick into the corner again. That's where the try came from. Innes this time, though, judged to be offside. Penalty Warrington.
Innes, you'll see a little bit offside there. Came off earlier for Leeds. We've obviously been working on this plan, and of course under these wet conditions the kicking game is so important.
That's Harmon, met by Dixon and Mike O'Neill. Now Phil Sumner. Hanley has him, wheels him in with a little bit of help from Goodway. Drops the ball, knock on, scrum down. Sumner can't believe it.
Well, you see on the replay, Ellery Hanley did have some interference with it, but he was bringing his left hand away in an upwards direction, and Sumner did lose it.
And Stevens lucky to get that one back. It hardly went into the scrum, bounced out very, very quickly. Ellis is after Hanley, so too was Sumner and Cullen. Leeds right on halfway, Maskill from dummy half. Pitch standing up remarkably well to the conditions. That's a great break from Malloy. Mackey just managed to bring him down. Maskill finds Stevens. There's Schofield. There's Hanley. It looked forward. Referee waves play on, and Tate comes forward on the charge. Schofield picks up, feeds Stevens, and good job that Mackey was there. He pulls Stevens down. It's the last tackle. Leeds will run it out to the far side from Schofield to Gibson. Gibson with a chip over the top. Gibson again, but no. Dwayne Mann was there. And Dwayne Mann saved a certain try for Warrington then.
Did well, did Gibson, realised it was the last tackle, put the pressure on. The worst they could finish up with was this. The scenario was that Mann was tackled in the in-goal area. That's a dropout from underneath the sticks. That's a type of pressure. Good thinking by Leeds. It's something we haven't seen these past few weeks. They really look as though they've got that act together tonight.
Here comes Morven Edwards. And Innes, though, couldn't keep hold. The ball, though, went back, says the referee. Play on. And Innes looked a little high. Referee says play on again. Here's Schofield. Schofield to Goodway. Goodway to Tate. Schofield back in support. Good tackling, Bateman.
Looking very busy tonight, Gary Schofield. He really means business.
Goodway inside to Gibson.
Rather surprising, Eddie, the way that Leeds are throwing this ball around. They're not frightened in this wet weather to throw a long ball in the link.
That's Mike O'Neill, and that's the last tackle. Schofield, again, the ball into this corner. A little tester for Kenyon. Kenyon picks it up, but has to take the tackle right on his own line.
Lovely kick there from Schofield. You can see the pressure now that Warrington will have to endure. Good kick and chase. Leeds really are a little bit too overexcited there. Not standing square at the play of the ball. The second marker must be directly behind him. Referee Colin Steele caught Leeds just trying to cheat a little bit there.
This is now Neil Harmon. Here's Cullen. Now, can Warrington get themselves out of trouble here? Looking to move the ball up and into the Leeds half of the field with Mackey. He had a look up then, saw there was a big gap between Tate and Gibson on that far side. Elected for the kick and chase. Gibson has it. Mackey's kick has given Warrington, what, about 40-50 metres grace there. They're now playing Leeds up the other end of the field. Good play from the little Australian. Here's O'Neill. Penalty, high tackle again. And the message, Mike, is not getting through to the players.
Well, it appears to be a problem. There you can see the swinging arm. Cullen really swinging. No doubt about it. As you say, Eddie, the marbles are taking a long time for things to absorb, hasn't it?
Only Leeds' second penalty. It's put them back in the driving seat. Steve Malloy will relish this battle. Maskell the dummy half. O'Neill picks up. Warrington tenacious in the tackle. Inventive in attack at Hull 2 weeks ago. Facing another stern test here on Sky Sports tonight. Maskell again. Long pass to Schofield. There's the ball into this corner once more. It means that Kenyon has to turn and chase. Fallon's right behind him. Grip chasing from Fallon.
A lovely kick, you'll see on the replay. The winger came back there, but I really thought that Rob Myler should have picked that ball up. He knew what was coming at him. The winger had no idea. That's why he was tackled in the in-goal again. The pressure is on.
Warrington have to drop out from underneath their own sticks once more. Rudd does that. Gets it to halfway, but only to Morven Edwards. 8 new signings this summer in this Leeds team. With quite a few of them out and injured tonight. There's no Gary Mercer, former Warrington man, of course. No Andy Gregory, and Kevin Iro is injured. He is out for at least 6 weeks.
Well, Andy Goodway will be spitting chips on this one. You saw that he tried to play the ball quickly, placed the ball on the ground, lost control of that very slippery football. I was just about to say that Leeds had cut down on the mistakes. It's been a horrific run for them this season.
That's good tackling, and it's Craig Innes, who was straight into the man in possession, who was Robbie Myler. All square on the scrum count. Leeds ahead on the scoreboard, 6-0. And I make it just over 21 minutes gone as Ellis takes a little half break for Warrington. Decided to take them on. Saw Schofield moving in for the kill, took him on, and he lost it as he got up to play the ball.
This is the type of thing that makes coaches lose even more hair. Ellis just losing the ball just slightly. Eagle eye of Colin Steele, the referee. The knock-on was called.
Ellis will be looking for a big game on this match on Sky to attract the attention of Great Britain coach Malcolm Reilly, a 1992 Lion. Ellis, of course. Oh, and the little flick of the head from Gibson. Let's not call it a headbutt. It was a flick of the head, I think, on Cullen. But that's a great run from Innes, and a good job that Gary Sanderson was there.
Well, if the Leeds players took a leaf out of Craig Innes on tonight's performance, running with a lot of motion, really is determined, isn't he?
Stevens trying to duck through 2 challengers. Mann and Cullen. Schofield, well, he will have a bash down the other side. See if it comes off there. Gibson's motoring up, but just a little bit too much pace, a bit too much power then from Gary Schofield. 100 Leeds tries now for the standoff half. 38 Great Britain caps for him as well. Almost sure to make it 39 at Wembley on the 24th of October. That ball went backwards, says the referee. Jackson. Cullen. And this is Phil Sumner. What a try that was. He scored on Sky at Hull just 2 weeks ago. Neil Harmon. Hanley getting through a lot of work in the tackling stint. Looks like he's back to fitness, Mike. There's another dilemma for the British coach. Should they play Hanley?
It's going to be a big problem for Malcolm, really. I'm sure that Ellery Hanley will be looking for a big game tonight also. There's quite a few out there. Kevin Ellis, Schofield, of course, wants to keep the momentum going. Surely only injury would keep him out of that Wembley final. But he'd like to have a build of confidence and have a top game tonight also.
Another man looking for a big game, I would think, would be Alan Tate, the Leeds full-back. Steve Hampson on Sky last Friday, faultless against Widnes.
It's a nice position for Malcolm really to be in, isn't it?
Yes, some great names.
To have so many.
At last we have some depth. And whoever Malcolm really picks will all be rooting for the British on October the 24th. (6-0) Leeds ahead. Warrington in possession with Jackson. Looking to reply. As we come up to almost half an hour gone. In possession with Ellis, but not for long. It was a bad ball. Ellis looks ruefully over his shoulder.
Well, that's been the difference between the two sides. Leeds not shy to keep this ball spinning out wide. There you saw a mistake. You really couldn't blame Kevin Ellis.
Tate has joined the line. The handling errors, I told you, keep an eye on those figures. They're creeping up. Dixon just let, well, he had no option really other than to let it go. Doug Lawton and Gary Stevens, the coaching duo here at Headingley, watching on anxiously. No, 6 points might not be enough. Leeds having a lot of territorial advantage. Want to turn some of that into points on the scoreboard. Malloy finds Schofield. He has another kick downfield. Myler this time takes it on the full and juggles with it but keeps hold. But then he's wheeled in by Gareth Stevens. Gareth Stevens and Gary Stevens, of course, it's father and son, the combination.
My word, and Gareth Stevens and Gary Schofield, they seem to be clicking well tonight. Schofield's kicking game, we mentioned before the game started, it's going to be so important for tonight. And just hope for those mistakes to come about.
Warrington having a bit of difficulty in getting going tonight in the heavy conditions. Myler just kicks that ball downfield. Gibson read it.
Warrington seem quite happy just to play it in the forwards.
Here's Gibson. Well, I thought he was going to release the pass to Hanley. It was a good job that Ellis got in there and brought him down, but the referee has given Leeds a penalty for not allowing the man in possession, Gibson, to get to his feet.
But you can see Ellis there not releasing. Gibson milked it for all it was worth. The penalty was taken. More pressure for Warrington.
It was a great penalty too. Look where they are. They're deep in that quarter line and in possession with Malloy, former Warrington player. 10 minutes to half-time. 6-0 it is. Schofield, Stevens, Schofield again. On the charge was Goodway.
Keep your eye out for the little kick again.
Maskill from dummy half. There's Schofield looking for Innis, gives it in. Leeds inching ever closer to that Warrington try line. Schofield with a long pass to Hanley. Hanley looking to run square and release the pass, and does now to Alan Tate. Tate out the back door to Goodway. Warrington closed the door and have forced them back. Hanley, Stevens, Schofield, Innis. Great little piece of play from Innis. Again, a tester for Kenyon with the speedster Fallon behind him, and Kenyon doing well.
Oh, lovely play by Kenyon. You'll notice he did everything copybook there, didn't he? He put his body between the tackles coming towards him. That way, they can't get any contact with the ball. Excellent play.
Leeds doing a good job so far on this man, Mackey. Not been able to get Warrington going as he did at Hull a fortnight ago.
Warrington's big problem is that they've not had the possession in the Leeds quarter at all.
Warrington already warming up a substitute, and Peter Hutton has got the details.
Number 14, Mark Forster. 14, Mark Forster is going to come on for Warrington. He's set to replace Rick Thackeray. Warrington noting the fact their wingers have been under pressure from Schofield's tactical kicking. There's no injury, just a straight swap. Mark Forster on, Rick Thackeray coming off.
So that change will be made as soon as there's a break in play. Schofield and Dixon now. Straight at Mackey. Mackey stood up to the test. A little standoff half against the big, robust second rower.
Intelligent play, Eddie, by Leeds. They're getting this ball well away from the rucks, not trying to take the big Warrington pack on at all.
Hanley, a lovely short ball, finds Mike O'Neill. Good tackle on that occasion, again from Mackey on O'Neill. It's the last tackle. Schofield. The ball hit a Warrington player. It's all on with Goodway. And eventually Schofield hacked the ball forward, and Myler, the fullback, moved up and cut the danger out. That's good play from the Warrington fullback.
Great dive there by Rob Myler, but what a mistake again. Leeds really could have taken advantage of that. Well picked up by Andy Goodway, but it really was a wasted chance.
Would have been interesting to see whether the referee would have waved the tackle count off, wouldn't it, and gone back to 6 to go for Leeds. We didn't get the opportunity to find out. It's the last tackle. This time for Warrington. They elect to run it, but it was through the arms of Kenyon. It was on the last tackle. It'll be the turnover. Mackey trying to urge his players on.
Well, Mackey screaming. Thackeray should have kept well out wide. You could see how wide the gap was. He'd come inside. The ploy that Leeds are using to spring this ball out wide in this wet conditions is coming off, and I'm afraid for Warrington, they're not showing the same handling.
Well, Warrington have made the substitution. Forster, and his first touch there wasn't a touch at all. He missed Alan Tate. Fortunately, his colleague was behind him to bring him down. Leeds sweeping forward again with Dixon. Stevens now. Hanley drops it. Slaps his thigh, not happy.
Well, I was in two minds there, just lost control of the ball. Looking to try to create the long ball out wide. He'll be disappointed with that.
Ten handling errors. Warrington have made 6 of them. Coming up now to just 5 minutes to go to half-time.
And I'm sure the Leeds coach, Dougie Lawton, will be quite happy with this. This ploy of trying to go out wide, not taking Warrington on down the middle, is certainly paying off. Alan Tate is linking in from the full-back position and certainly making a lot of ground.
Dwayne Mann kicks the ball downfield. Jim Fallon picks it up for Leeds. And Dwayne Mann following up, forces the former England B international back. 6-0, less than 5 to go to half-time. Innes will stop dead in his tracks. Big hit. Sanderson and number 8, Neil Harmon. Hanley trying to go through the gap. Bob Jackson will have none of it. Helped out by 3 others. This is Goodway. That's Malloy. And that's a good ball from Malloy out to Gibson. Still going, Gibson. Maskell, the acting halfback. To the scrum half, Stevens. To Schofield. Schofield, short pass to Tate. Great tackle again, that was from Greg Mackey. Mackey interfering at the play of the ball. Referee penalises him, and rightly. He couldn't get out of the way.
Silly play there by Greg Mackey. You can see him just trying to move over. Gary Schofield trying to get to the play of the ball. It was a quick play of the ball. But the rule states that the man after being tackled has to roll away, not stand up and interfere like we've just seen.
Leeds making a substitution. The number 14, James Lowes, is coming on, set to replace Colin Maskell. Lowes, a utility player who's played at hooker, is waiting to come on. He'll be on very shortly.
Lowes, the new signing for Leeds. Signed him from Hunslet after Hunslet were here in the Yorkshire Cup tie. The fees to be decided by a tribunal. Meanwhile, Leeds are in possession with Edwards. Greg Mackey, normally the man who does so much in attack for Warrington, having really to work overtime in defence tonight. Gibson. Schofield comes this way, finds Goodway. He finds in turn Dixon, jinking away from one, finds Hanley. Hanley with the strength to go all the way. Hanley is in a rich vein of form for Leeds. That is his 5th try of the season, and he had the strength to find the right spot for Leeds then.
Stone's bit of championship replay. We'll see Leeds keeping this ball alive. Goodway, the lovely switch inside. Dixon, the strength, the step, gets the ball alive, and this man is strong. Wonderful fend off with the left. Went down with the shoulder, the left shoulder to brush off. Fullback Rottweiler, good play. They really have taken the confidence here. They've kept the ball alive. Goodway spins. The Warrington defence is stood back watching. Nice step there by Dixon. You can see 3 Warrington players stood around. The strength of Ellery Hanley. The shoulder goes down. The momentum takes him over. Great try.
And Hanley totally recovered from the injury on tour as Maskell adds the extra 2, stretches Leeds' advantage to 12 points. Hanley, as I say, found that he's got his form back, got his fitness back. He's scored now in 4 of his 5 appearances so far.
There we can see, look at it, keep the ball alive. And the strength, Goodway keeping it through. Now look at Dixon. When he comes through here, he steps. Let's just hold it there. 3 men, Warrington, the gap appears. Ellery Hanley does the rest. Great play.
So, Warrington are having to play real catch-up football now. Leeds are ahead by 12 points to 0. And it has been a totally professional job in this first half, hasn't it, Mike?
Unbelievable display from Leeds. They really have just gone out there with the confidence and said, it's dry weather. We will play to our plan that they've obviously been working at all week, and it really has paid off. I think even Warrington would have suspected that they would have come down the middle with it being wet like that. But they've stunned Warrington's defence by keeping this ball alive, stretching them out wide.
Well, there is a mistake, and it's given the ball back to Warrington. That line you can almost see there is the quarter line. The rain has washed it all away, but there's a big mistake. It was a bad pass. It was round Mackey's ankles, and in these conditions, that was suicide from Ellis.
Well, it was going down, wasn't it, all the time? Mackey couldn't get to it. There you see Mackey saying, let's calm things down. That really has been the difference. Warrington, when they try to spin it out wide, they come up with the mistakes. Leeds, it just sticks there, just like glue.
We're into stoppage time. And Hanley on his own from dummy half. And Hanley being singled out for a bit of treatment over there on that far side. But play, meanwhile, switches to the opposite wing with Innes. That's great play from Craig Innes. Fallon in support. Good job that Bateman was there. Tate weaving his way. Warrington on the back foot, as they have been for much of this first half. Good play from Goodway. Brings number 10, Mike O'Neill, into it.
Leeds have just controlled it from the kick-off.
Those little kicks, too, have put Warrington under so much pressure in each corner from Gary Schofield. Myler, though, has it, but Dixon wheels him in, and the applause around this Headingley Stadium will tell you that was probably the most encouraging first half of rugby league that they've seen here at Headingley all season. Leeds ahead by 12 points to 0, 2 tries, Hanley scoring one of them,